Here's Johnny.
I'm trying to help you, Roland.
Before the main video starts, I just thought I'd give you a list of all incoming transfers into the Premiership before the actual main video starts. There you go.
A step stool, a shopping trolley, an easel and paints, a cuddly toy dog, a glass top table, a 650-piece dinner service, a set of saucepans, a coffee percolator, a brass lamp, an electric tea maker, a punch bowl and glasses, a toolbox, a camera, a transistor radio, a hot tray, a chess set.
Right you are, round you come, Janet.
And on Larry's conveyor belt tonight, there's a barbecue set, a cuddly Paddington bear, a picnic hamper, a Jeroboam of champagne, a morning tea-making alarm, a radio cassette recorder, a bone china coffee set, an electric cook pot, an infrared lamp, 6 crystal cherry glasses, a set of bathroom scales, a coffee machine, a soda maker, an instant color camera, silver candelabra, a cuddly camel, an electric drill and bits, a kiddish tricycle, a 2-tier box of chocolates, a jigsaw puzzle.
Spurs fans, football fans. So Vuskovic, we've got a dilemma on our hands, haven't we? We've got Senesi, and we've just signed Van Heck, apparently, which leaves Vuskovic asking, where does he fit in? He don't want another loan. He wants first team Premiership football. Where does he fit in then, De Zerbi? I know we was asking for a rotational team, but Jesus, mate, I think you've overbought in a certain position, don't you? Over-purchased at the minute. Which leaves fucking Vuskovic out in the dark, doesn't it? Wow. I don't know whether it was prudent of them not to buy Van der Heck and bring Vuskovic in. It could have been so prudent of them and so careful with the money. You could have put the money elsewhere. Mind you, we had 90%, lads. Where do we keep getting these figures from? 90% of the bullshit from last year's Spurs channels telling us, bring Vuskovic back. He will change our season. He will save us. Now, we've got Van der Heck in and Senesi. A lot of these channels, 90% of them again, are saying he should be sent back on another loan. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. And Tonali, I don't know what's going to come of Tonali. I said to my missus on the way to work today, all right, it worked out like this. Yesterday, Tonali, at 9 o'clock in the morning, was 75 to 85 million. By the afternoon, he was valued at 85 to 90 million. This was the media. Then I woke up this morning to him being valued at 115 million. I've not checked yet. What's the time? It's nearly 12 o'clock. Maybe he'll go up by another 30 million. Have a fucking word. These media companies, don't believe it until you see it on the Tottenham website. That's what they always say. That's what the old school say. And you got the World Cup got a bit hotted up yesterday, didn't it? Watched the French game. Pretty good little game. What else did we watch yesterday? Didn't watch the Messi game. I'm not watching the Messi games just because he's Lionel Messi. I've got a feeling. Call me Mr. Tinfoil Hat wearer. But I've got a feeling that the VAR will start producing weird results around the ground at the minute with regards to who's going to be in the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, etc. For some reason, I keep saying to myself the final's going to be Portugal-Argentina because you've got Ronaldo and you've got Messi. their final World Cups. And wouldn't it be great for ticket sales? You know? Am I talking out my arsehole? Or could be. We've got Roll has left Rangers to take up a managerial position with what are they called? Red Bull Salzburg. Mutual agreement. So goodbye Rangers, hello Germany. What other? Bernardo Silva this morning joins Real Madrid. Now he's still got fucking gas in the tank, that boy. 2-year deal from Man City. And they signed him on a free as well. Absolutely brilliant, eh? That's a good bit of fucking purchase power there. What else have we got to talk about? Let me flick through. Vicario, back under consideration from Juventus, according to Sky Italy. Aston Villa's Emil Martinez has been their first choice, but that's been right slowed down. They can't push it through, so they've gone for Vicario. Is he really second choice to Martinez, Vicario, if you was picking goalkeepers? Or is this just another more media bollocks, you know? Because, mate, but Juventus also want Alisson, I think, as well, from Liverpool. Millwall, they signed Metcalf from Bradford. Is that a good little buy? I like to see Millwall do well. Championship teams, eh? Does that mean, because West Ham are in the Championship now, we can support another team if we're from Bethnal Green? Can we support Tottenham and then the Championship team? Because a lot of these wankers seem to support a different team in a different league, don't they? You see loads of them, don't you, on the fucking football YouTube? 1 minute they got a PSG top on, the next minute they got a fucking Arsenal top, the next minute they got a Tottenham top, the next minute they got a fucking whatever top from a different league. And it's like, are people really like this? I mean, I've got a Barcelona top, don't get me wrong, but I think everyone's got a Barcelona top. It's one of those football things, isn't it? Everyone got a Barcelona top. Tell me if I'm right. It's like you normally got a Real Madrid top or a Barcelona top, and for you English lot who go on holiday, you tell me you ain't bought a Barcelona top. Well, I got a Barcelona top only because my dad used to bring me back one from the stadium every time he went. So I've got a Barcelona top. Who else? Robert Martinez is set to leave as the Portuguese manager at the end of the World Cup. Regardless, Jose Mourinho was supposed to take charge of the Portuguese squad, but now he's at Real Madrid. So I wonder who's going to take care of that one, because he had a verbal agreement, didn't he? Shows money talks, doesn't it? Verbal agreements, absolutely fucking jokers. Amorim has been appointed AC Milan's manager. Have a word at that, mate. And Solskjaer and O'Neill among the candidates to replace McKenna at Old Ipswich Town. Mate, thick and fast this transfer window, isn't it, to be honest with you? The main news headlines for Spurs fans is Tonali. Why Spurs want Tonali. He's a decent midfielder, you know. And but the price is what I said before. You got to be stupid to play these prices for that sort of midfielder. Maybe wait till you've seen a couple more games in the World Cup. Might be able to pick up someone cheap, eh? From one of these lesser known teams. Because some of them... Oh, that's another bit of news I've seen on social media for you. Spain through the games. They've been accused of game rigging. Just by the social media lot. We all know what we think of that lot, don't we? Game rigging. No, that weren't game rigging. That was like with all World Cups and all great teams. They have to feel their way around the World Cup. They have to get their mentality right. They have to get their everything right, peaking all at the same time. And to peak in your first game, that's not good. You want to peak in the final, don't you? You don't want to peak in your first game. But at the same time, you do want to build up momentum. Being a World Cup team, you want to build up this momentum and get it right. It was a draw. both come away with a point. They had a great little defence on the day, but it was parking the bus. It was Arsenal-style parking the bus, wasn't it? And, well, I see West Ham starting to get rid of players as well. 3 players lost the other day. And now they're in the transfer again 20 hours ago. They've got the possibility of bringing in Steve Nixon to head up the sports division at the club. Well, do you know what? It's a shame you can't fucking put Trevor Brooking back in there. Dig up Billy Bonds in it. And revitalise Redknapp. Put them all back into the West Ham. Give them a bit of a fucking identity back. But we can't do that, can they? They can't do that. Yeah, I'm toying with the idea of buying myself a West Ham top, lads. A championship team. There's no conflict there. Is there no conflict there with people? Get fucked. Of course there's conflict there. It's like fucking when you see your fucking favourite fucking Spurs YouTuber wearing a German top. Have a fucking word with yourself, son. They bombed our fucking chippy. In fact, if you come from fucking Bethnal Green, they bombed your fucking train station. They bombed your chippy. They even fucking bombed the fucking pub behind Bethnal Green Road, lad. Oh, they've still got to pay their dues to me. But I'm not understanding the Spurs lot with this Vuskovic. I really ain't. 1 minute they're all calling for him to come back. The next minute we bought Van der Heck. And there's another thing. Got so many Spurs fans calling him, oh, do you know what? Van der Heck, he's outstanding. He's outstanding. Do you know what? He's got one of the worst stats for mistakes leading to goals in the Premiership. Or he has got the worst stat for that. Centre-back. He also made a mistake the other night in the World Cup that led to a goal. Is he right for Spurs? Who would you rather have? Vuskovic, a young Vuskovic, or Van der Heck? Do you know what? We've had youngsters. They've made mistakes. We've had people getting into the prime of their career. Everyone's allowed a mistake, don't get me wrong. Right, it's Premiership football. Everyone makes mistakes. We've had our world-class defender, Romero, making mistakes. And they haven't been few and far between. But he's been quite consistent with mistakes. So is Kevin Danzo. So is Van der Ven. Vuskovic, when you watch him for Hamburg, not so much. Very, very savvy. More savvy than some of our young players that we've had. Probably more savvy than Archie Gray, if I may say. Archie Gray, don't get me wrong, he's great for a young person, but he needs nurturing. Probably the most professional young player at the minute in our squad is probably Bergvall, just a bit ahead of Archie Gray, just for a bit of foresight. But even then, they're still not technical enough, are they? You know? But who would you rather have? Van der Flipping Heck or Vuskovic? Vuskovic. It just comes up. It just, from what I've seen in Hamburg, bruv, I'd rather have Vuskovic, I think. And put the money, the 52 million, towards a midfielder or a striker. Could have easily afforded Tonali straight off the bat, couldn't we? If we put Vuskovic in and 52 million towards fucking Tonali. On top of what we was going to pay. Job done. You know what I mean? Johnny's the accountant. But this transfer window, absolutely mental. It's nice to see things moving, right? But at the same time, it's 2 threes at the minute. 2 threes and a Van Heck. And I would like to see Vuskovic come in. Like a lot of people would. There's so many content creators now saying he should go in loan, another year's worth of loan. Well, how many times can you keep buying players and leaving them on loan? Leaving them on loan and then forgetting all about them. And then all of a sudden, when the media needs someone to throw into the Spurs squad, oh, we could have brought this one, we could have brought this one back, we could have brought that one back. We've not got no Europe this year. So we don't need a fantastical rotational squad. We just need a good rotational squad. I say bring Vuskovic back. I say not even buy Van der Heck. But apparently he's here. But I'm not understanding where they're coming from with the outstanding. You know, outstanding. It's always the Spurs fans that do this as well. Right? Not all of them, but a lot of these young, dumb, and full of, you know what I mean? Full of their dad's Harry. All talking wet. And that's all they ever do is they talk wet. You can't call this geezer outstanding. He's a good defender. Right? I'm not putting him down. But he's not as great as you're making out. Really ain't. But if you do think he's that great, why was it when you was doing all the shows before, and this is the people that I know, when they was doing all the shows before, why was his name never mentioned? It was always other people mentioned, like bring Vuskovic back. So if we already had this great fucking generational talent, why do we need this geezer? Simple, innit? Simple. Midfielder we do need, don't we? It's gone quiet on the old Paulinho front. Has he gone back home now? Has he said Guten Tag to Germany? And that's all been quietly swept under the table, isn't it? Got us that goal that kept us up. And thank you very much, but no thank you. Don't sound right, does it? Really don't sound right. I expected to see him in another season in the top, but do you know what? We had a manager that got us a fucking trophy and they didn't give him fucking 6 months to prove himself after that. They just got rid. I'm half expecting if this transfer window maybe this is how they're trying to keep De Zerbi. They're trying to say, oh look, we'll try and get you these players. We'll try. And then he's going to think, okay, oh, well, they tried to give me the players. It just wasn't happening with the other side. Because we are 17th twice. Right? That's hard to bring players to your club, especially when you've got no Europe. Especially when these players want to play in Europe. Any cup they want to play in. That's part of their remit as a professional footballer, isn't it? They want to get in the World Cup squad, they want to play in the Champions League, or they want to play in Europe. They just don't want to be signed to an English team that are just sitting there in 12th or 13th all the time. Absolutely ridiculous of Spurs fans, and it's absolutely ridiculous of 90%, we'll go back to those percentages again, 90% of the fucking Spurs channels to give you these fantasy names when you know they're not going to come here, bruv. We're 17th twice. We've got to look at the reality of it, innit? Over a cup of tea, mate. You know, that's the reality. So we've got to do some shrewd buying. I don't think Lange... do you know what? So many people, talking of Lange, I've heard some people who go, his name's Langer. Lange. I call him Lange because it rhymes with, what does it rhyme with? Lange. Don't rhyme with fuck all, does it? No. He's not even in Cockney. No, fuck him. Get rid of him. He's not even in Cockney rhyming slang. No, but right, they say the name's different. Now we're leading up to the World Cup. Turkey. Right? So why don't you call Spain España? Just saying, it's one rule for one rule for another, isn't it? With a lot of content creators and a lot of people on television and in the media now, it's like you've got to change the names. So they start calling, instead of Brazil, it'll be Brasilia. You know, they start fucking doing this thing. But when it comes down to the Commonwealth Garden European countries, France will still be France. Spain will still be Spain. And if you're going to do it for one, do it for them all. That's my pet hate at the moment with the media and YouTube. You know, Turkey. When the fuck was they Turkey? To everyone, they was Turkey. You know what I mean? España, well, that's on the continent, bruv. You know, you go to France, they say España. It's only England that call them Spain, isn't it? And it makes me wild. Even my Scotch mates, a lot of them call it España. You know? I'm not understanding where these multimedia types come from now and why they're doing this all of a sudden. Is it because they're on the different side of religion? We've got to call them that particular name. We've got to call them this. You know? I say Van der Ven. And I've heard fucking people call him all sorts of names, right? I've spent a lot of time in Holland, right? I've got a few Dutch mates from years ago. One of them just happens to have a very similar name. But he calls himself Van der. He don't call himself like fucking mate. I can't even think what they call him, what some people call him. And I'm thinking to myself, what is it? Well, it's like the Bodicea argument, isn't it? You know, we always grown up with her being called Bodicea. And you probably don't know what I'm talking about because you're used to people saying Boudica. See how the words change. But it is winding me up, you know, Turkey. Fucking, fuck them. Turkey, you know. Cape Verde, bruv. I've heard that pronounced about fucking 10 different ways, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, mate, this has gone woke. Did you hear the latest one? With that tart on TV? Tell you, it was, because Cape Verde drew with Spain, that was a win-win for immigration. Was it? That was a win-win for immigration. I knew someone had pulled that out of the bag in the fucking World Cup. Bit of politics. Fuck me, we've got Trump fucking giving the World Cup away. It's just going to be one political farce, isn't it, this World Cup? And as I said, I'm sure if you put your tin foil that on, it's going to be Portugal, fucking Argentina in the final. Mate, wouldn't it be funny if it was fucking England versus Germany? That would be class, wouldn't it? That'd give everyone World Cup fever. Still can't find a Union, a St George's flag to put on side of my car. Still can't find a St George's flag in a shop. Normally, you used to be able to buy them, didn't you? You know, with the England going through it. I just want a plain St George's flag. I'll have to go online, won't I, and get one. I've got my Spanish one, but I can't fly my Spanish one without flying my English one. Just the way I am, lads. You know what I mean? But that's my video for today. Short, sharp, sweet, and a bit long. 22 minutes. That is pretty long for me, isn't it? What do you think of the transfer so far? And the Spurs channel so far? Because I've been warned off talking about the Spurs channels. Yeah. So we'll go back to Johnny Reviews, eh? And we'll start reviewing the Spurs channels over the course of the coming months as well. Because they really hated that for some reason. You know, and I always thought, if you're on YouTube, you're supposed to have thick skin. Perhaps they just got thick bellies, bruv, and not thick skin, eh? You know what I'm saying? Perhaps they're just a bit special. Anyway, God bless. Love yous all. Take care. Enjoy the World Cup tonight. God bless. Again, 2 God blesses. And 2 Hail Marys And to our fathers, please, boys, we need some praying for this England game, don't we? Every fucking 4 years comes along, we nearly make it. We nearly make it. We nearly get there. And one of these days, we have got to get there, haven't we? Jesus.
And I make nothing. Zero. Zilch. By the time I pay all my scientists, all my people in my research department, lab coats, it's a wash. Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, because I'm selfless. And I want to heal as many people as the dear Lord lets me.